honor and support these extraordinary heroes and to support the heroes of the American Red Cross. You can help the Red Cross support those in our community when they need it the most to ensure that our community is a safe place to live and a better place to live. We invite you now to sit back and listen to those 7 stories of exceptional heroism, courage, and human kindness. You can follow these stories in your program as we present the 2011 Oregon Mountain River Chapter's Heroes. Yes. Caring for Troops is a Central Oregon nonprofit organization started way back in 2003 by 2 local citizens who wanted to make a personal contribution to the welfare of our fighting men and women overseas. Dianne Brock and Dan Hulbert met in March of 2003 at a meeting of the Central Oregon Veterans Council as Dianne was trying to organize a rally for those first brave young men and women being deployed to Iraq for Operation Enduring Freedom. This deployment included Dianne's Marine son, Casey Brock. With the help of Dan Hulbert, who was himself a Marine who served in Desert Storm, and many others, the rally for the Central Oregon troops occurred on April 5th, 2003. Based on his own experience in Iraq, Dan came up with the idea of sending care packages to the troops, and he had been assembling the first care packages in his garage. A nonprofit organization, Caring for Troops, was being born. Since then, with significant community support, thousands of packages have been shipped to our Oregon troops serving overseas.
Well, I think Caring for Troops was an important thing to start because it was such an important thing for me when I was a Marine to get support.
This all came about, it was spring, probably March of 2003, and our son is a lieutenant in the Marines, and he was deployed to Iraq.
After the first few months of running Caring for Troops, it didn't even have a name at the time, out of my garage, I was overwhelmed, and I knew that this is a community thing and I needed help. And I was invited to a Central Oregon Veterans Council.
And a man named Dan Hulbert went at the same time. And it's the first time I'd met Dan, and my vision was the rally, his vision was care packages. That was the beginning. We decided to get together, and we had on April 5th, 2003, a rally in support of the troops in the old Mountain View Mall.
It was a phenomenal feeling to see it grow. I kind of liken it to having a baby. I mean, you start with this, tiny thing, and you see it grow. We started with a few volunteers, and we turn it into a volunteer organization, and then it turns into a nonprofit organization. Just about every package that we would ship out, we'd put in a blank postcard. And the troops had the ability to ship those postcards back to us, and we received hundreds of postcards and letters from our troops.
Please welcome Dianne Brock and Dan Hulbert. We have some special plaques. Oregon Mountain River Chapter, Dan Hulbert, hero, and Dianne Brock, hero. Sure. Let me ask you, when you started this back in 2003, did you imagine it would grow to what it is today, Dan?
Never. I never thought this. I just remember praying in with my wife in the living room. If this is God's will, this is going to take on what He wants it to be. And I never imagined it being like this. Just being here so many years later, and thousands of packages to our troops, and the strength of the organization with the new president, Betsy Johnson, doing a wonderful job, and just a phenomenal experience.
Well, it doesn't just happen. It takes a hero to get it started. Dianne, what is the status of the group today?
We are sending over 75 packages still right now, and so we have the need for lots of support. We are a nonprofit. 75 packages means a lot of product and a lot of postage, but I just like to get a little plug in. Our biggest challenge always is accessing names because of privacy issues. Recruiters can't give us names, and we just hate it when we don't know that somebody's deployed, and they miss out on packages from the community. Because that's what the package is a message to our local deployed military personnel that we just haven't forgotten you. We're thinking of you. We wish you well. So if you have know of anyone who's deployed, get on our website, caringfortroops.com, and you can sign them right up on that website. And all they have to do is have a connection to Central Oregon.
All right. Well, thank you both very much for everything you've done. Dan Hulbert and Dianne Brock. If you didn't get that website, just contact the folks at the American Red Cross, and they'll put you in touch with Caring for Troops.